Hey, it's TDA and welcome back to my newest addiction. Apparently we are mining a lot and we're doing that with the help of our dwarven friends. Now, last time around I promised you this episode would probably contain a little bit more cuts, but for now we're getting a goblin invasion. I actually don't know what that means, so does that just mean we get a whole bunch of these things? If that is the case, that's actually nice because, you know, these things give me stuff. Valuable stuff. I also need to start doing some more damage, and holy baloney, look at how much damage these guys are doing. I just got a couple of these cannons, and you can see they are already topping the damage chart. So I definitely need to start upgrading some of my science maybe, but also some of our other things, like for example our laser cannon over here is not really doing anything, but I haven't really done anything to upgrade it either. So let's get a couple of these upgrades. These are going to let me do more ticks. These are going to let me fire longer. Cooling masters, cooldown reduction, that seems like a pretty awesome thing to get as well. And make the beam wider so it does more damage. I mean, this is all very straightforward. We can also get just another cannon. And what do the scientists do again? Oh, we need scientists at certain levels to unlock upgrades as well. Not just for this machine actually, but also for the others. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna farm up some money and then get some more upgrades and then see where that gets us. Okay, here we are. We get some more money, and honestly, I might have over upgraded my runners now, which is kind of weird because I felt like I was getting behind. But we have a bit of money now, so let's get some housing and then maybe 2 scientists. This gives us the superheater gem harvester. Laser cannons get a 4% chance on damage to drop random bonus gems. Okay, so that's a 6% chance already. It's a 9% chance now. That's gonna be a lot of gems, isn't it? Huh. Interesting. Maybe just add another gem. Oh, the disco shuffle. Oh, that's the thing that's where we move it around. It does have more luck. I mean, does that work? I mean, just flipping them around like that? I mean, I didn't actually change anything. Actually, the lasers fire like straight ahead, right? So if I do it exactly, well, by accident like I've done now, you can position them in a way they actually hit a cave. Kind of like targeting them that way. I don't know. Might be useful to keep that in mind in case we need to specifically target anything. We are about to complete level 15, so that's kind of nice. Doing about 4,000 damage. Now, I kind of forgot what I was at when I ended the last one. Oh, this was actually a random one. Collect a couple of dwarves and get a stun duration. Okay, let's press J, H. Whatever the shield was. I don't know the shield is going to do much against that many rocks. But yeah. Okay, so we've got that one. That's not a pretty impressive one, but this one might be. So let's see. 20% damage to balloon ballistas. We could also get tier 1. Additional chance for the demo dwarfs thing to... look at the amount of frogs. Okay, it might be interesting, I don't know. All ores and gems are worth 10% more gold. Well, that seems like an obvious pick. That's just a flat 10% increase to everything I'm doing. Let's throw in a bomb. This is also going to hit my own dudes. But this should speed things up quite a bit. And there's our artifact coming in. Let's mark this for death. It's about 8,000 health per level now, so that should take me about 3 minutes to complete the level. There's my gold coming in. So what is this? These are these dudes. Should I be upgrading these more? I don't know. Flamers fire up to 1 additional projectile per shot. Inferno. Additional damage per stack. Dark Flame. It might be interesting just to test out, like, if we upgrade these guys a little bit more, if they actually start doing something that we care about. This one makes them crits. This does what? Fire fields now amplify damage of all other attacks, including firebolts. I mean, that's not that bad. Super expensive though, but we'll see. Draconic Salvo I can't get because I don't have souls. And fire fields deal extra damage against dens. These things get really expensive really quick though. Anyway, just got a few more levels, so let's see if this does anything. Well, it did pump the damage to the 3rd place already, so I mean, it's not bad, but I'm not sure it was worth the investment. Speaking of investment, I think I might have to invest a little bit more on the ballistas, and so specifically the anti-rock turrets, because my guys are spending so much time actually trying to pick stuff up, but then getting hit by rocks, that it might make sense to kind of give them a little bit more defense. So we can increase the cooldown reduction, that's kind of nice, and increase the accuracy can never be a bad thing. Oh, yeah, this is definitely a good thing to get. This is going to make them fire faster. Let's get the piñatas as well. Ooh. Ooh. The first level cost a soul, but then the next levels didn't. That's interesting. Should we get more turrets? Maybe. I mean, I will need some more money for that. But, you know, maybe some more ballistas, actually. Ooh, multi-shot for the ballista. Harpoons have a 3% chance to shoot up to 1 additional harpoons at once. Interesting. Current chance is already 3%. Because of the scientists and runesmiths have. Oh, interesting, interesting. Let's keep upgrading these guys a little bit more, though. Let's buy a house. And then I kind of want to get a couple of rock turrets and then another ballista. I was just looking around and I just saw the Exalted Beard aura for the runners. So whenever a runner is hit by a falling rock, there's just 27% chance that his powerful beard aura deflects it away. Each deflection drains 1 charge out of 1, and then they slowly recharge that over 40 seconds. So basically, they have a chance to deflect it once every minute or so. But the deflection chance is increased by 1% for each runesmith. So let's get this. So it's already a 27% chance. I mean, that's not that bad, and they will get a charge every now and then. And look at that. These little guys have their proper guns now, and they haven't even gotten the additional rock turrets. Ooh, the next one is really expensive though. But, you know, might as well invest in that a little bit. Let's see if we can trigger the shields. Not sure if that's gonna do that much. Oh, that guy got through. This one, yep. Yeah, the shield is definitely something to kind of trigger once you see a big stack of rocks or something coming in. Okay, so it feels like between the additional turrets I have over here and the shields I can summon every now and then, and the beards that we have in place. Oh, we got a golden gazer as well. That's a lot of additional materials. Anyway, it feels like my runners are doing a pretty good job at keeping up, and we are doing a fair job as well at actually protecting them. Boom. Let's help you out a little bit. There we go. Can I mark anything? Nope, I cannot. Now, let's see. There's actually the... what is it? The bullet's ballin'? That will cost me a mithril, but that will allow me to summon this big rock. I can just slam into the mountain and look at how much damage that did. I mean, I should probably have been using that earlier. Not sure if I could, actually. Then again, it does cost mithril, so you can't just spam this. Let's increase the ball size. There we go. Anything else we should be doing here? Maybe we should get another cannon. I mean, yeah, this thing looks a little bit weird now because the massive amount of damage I just did with my single Mario Party cannon thing. It's not necessarily Mario Party, I guess. It's any Mario. Mario Kart? That's where the rockets are mostly, right? Mario Kart. Well, actually, they're in the other games as well. This is now a Mario Kart or a Mario review. Anyway, let's see. Durant's pickaxe. 20% damage when the mountain is below 40% health. I mean, that's kind of nice to speed things up, actually. And the additional chance for the things. And the Pickering pickaxes gain a plus 10 stacking chance on each bounce. Damage bonus on each bounce. This is just for the miners, right? Yeah. Let's go with that one. Speaking of which, should we get more of them? I mean, I can at least get one of them. These upgrades are really... Okay, so let's see. We can get them some crit chance. We can get them some luck. Okay, we got our boomerang now. I do have to pick a rank, so that's good. We could upgrade the chance for that to bounce a little bit, so we just did that. Thunderboom tips. An additional calamity damage multiplier. 1% chance to trigger a lightning strike, which deals an additional 25 to 75% damage. I mean, okay, I guess. What's this? Gemcraft Academy increases the chance of dropping gems instead of non-gems. Okay. Slayer. Okay. That's an additional damage upgrade as well. Yeah, I might as well. I mean, oh, we can make these guys really fast actually with a lot of these upgrades. There we go. And we can actually increase their damage quite a bit as well. Some of these upgrades are really cheap. I should have probably picked them up earlier as well. So there's a balancing act going on here. I think you kind of need to go through a lot of these things and then just pick whatever upgrades you didn't pick up yet. And that speeds things up quite a bit, I think, if you kind of keep balancing this out. Because now I just upgraded my miners, and you can see they are again the top 3 damage. Getting the additional ballistas I just upgraded, put them in the top as well. Oh, the miners actually just jumped to the first place. And I'm sure that if I, you know, upgrade my cannons now again, that will probably increase their damage quite a bit as well. After impacting the mountain, falling cannonballs damage any dens they collide with. Huh. That's interesting. I mean, I don't have mithril because I just spent it all. But, I mean, it sounds interesting, don't get me wrong. We should probably fire a thing. There we go. Boom! That was not as satisfying as I was hoping it would be. Wind Bomb is upgraded through this, right? What we want is extra force. There. Oh, that's super expensive though. Huh. Huh. Okay. Okay. Look at the damage my miners are now doing. That's really nice though. I just noticed, by the way, initially I thought these were just turrets, but there's like dwarves in there shooting. Okay. We are about... What's the plus mean? I don't know. Time left, only 3 minutes. Destroy the mountain before the Goblin King escapes? Okay, well then I kind of need one of those, right? Let's ram that in here. Boom! We can do that at least once more before it runs out. I was gonna make a cut here, but I guess I'm not, because it's kind of interesting to see how far we can get this. Should I be clicking this? I mean, this is not going to do a massive amount of damage. I could upgrade my clicking, though. I don't think that's really worth investing money in, because it's actually quite expensive compared to how much damage we're doing. But, you know, this is doing some damage. It's probably a few hundred damage along those few minutes. How am I doing on my upgrades? We don't know. Oh, actually, I can speed my guys up a little bit. Oh, look. That was a random artifact again that we found. 12% speed, but 20% resting time. Okay. They are so kinky. I need a mithril, guys. Come on, bring me mithril so I can do another big bomb. There we go. Hello. There we go. Let's slam it in over there, so we can kind of move all of this stuff as well. Yeah, we are beating this no problem. The Goblin King has been slain. His magical crown is ours. Devour time 1.38, total time 51 minutes for this run. Oh, we actually got a tier 5 Goblin Crown from that. So that's 4 prestige points. passive required to access the Great World Spire. Okay, so we need to pass through this. But, yeah. Let's see, how are we doing artifacts? I mean, I feel like we've collected quite a few artifacts along the way, thanks to that passive that I unlocked. This is the first tier 5 artifact actually that we got. We didn't do any artifact crafting this time around, right? We need another level of this to unlock that. But then we need a lot of mithril to do this. So it's interesting, I took a completely different path this time around. Is this better? I don't know. Which by itself is kind of interesting. So, yeah. We are still making quite a bit of headway into this mountain. Even though we've already been playing for an hour. This is definitely further than we've gotten so far. Let's speed up. Let's use the power of Chad to make our runners a little bit faster. Because now it feels like we're doing a lot more damage than our runners can keep up with. Which is interesting. Because that implies that what we should be doing is getting some more runners. And or upgrading them. Probably both. The Exalted Beard Aura. No, it's not really what I want to get, I think. The nose thing is pretty good, probably. Just to make sure that the value that they collect is as high as it can. The magnetic gloves is, I think, something we definitely need. Because we are now collecting so many things, as you can see, per dude. That it takes them quite a while to pick things up. And then if they get hit, they need to pick everything back up again. So in that way, getting additional carrying capacity is actually working against me. Because they're not bringing stuff back if they get hit. Increasing speed, however, will definitely work with that. And dodging, just straight up dodging the falling stuff will help with that as well. I don't remember ever seeing them dodge, but I might just not have been paying attention to that enough. Yeah. Let's just keep improving this a little bit. And it's interesting because at the one hand, I kind of want to spend my 19 prestige points. On the other hand, I'm like, yeah, this is going pretty well. So let's say we finish this mountain and then we do another clean run. And we can use our giant rockets to do that. We'll get some more artifacts. We actually just found a random artifact here as well, by the way. That's just a tier 1, but that gave us a free dwarf, a mithril, and a point again. Let's see, what does this give us? Passive, you retroactively and passively get +1 dwarf for every 3 underground housings you bought. Okay, that's really good. All runes cost -25 gold. That's pretty decent as well. Collect 1 to 3 scientists or dwarves if you don't have a grand laboratory. I mean, if I pick this up, I actually need to make sure it gets to my thingy. Pick it up, bring it back. It's interesting, he just brings it back straight away. He's like, oh, this is an artifact, this is important, let's bring it back. Okay. That's 11 dwarves. This is tempting me to keep playing. Nope, we're not gonna do it. We are gonna start over. So, how do we do this again? Hold to prestige. Oh, it's gonna feel so slow in a second. How many points do I need to spend? So we spent a total of 30. This will be 50 total. Oh, and then actually that means that we can, in the next run, move on to tier 3. That is interesting. Let me read through this once more because I forgot about half of these things and I don't want to bore you with that, and then see what we can pick up to kind of boost ourselves. Okay, so let's see. I definitely want to increase the chance of getting artifacts for free, and then I think I should also pick this one up. This is going to give me additional gold every time I pick up an artifact, and I think that's going to add up quite a bit as well. This is a pretty hefty investment, but it's going to pay up over time. Now, these ones only cost me 1, so I am going to pick up some free runners. I also am going to have myself start the game with additional money. This is going to give me 3 free miners, basically. Then I have 5 points left, so I definitely want to get just 1 of these things. Maybe this looming motivation. I mean, if I have a lot of stuff on the floor, this will temporarily boost my runner. So that's always a nice thing to have, I think. And then I only have a few points left. I actually spent a lot more than I was thinking that this would take me. This would boost my anti-rock turrets quite a bit. This is just going to be a flat increase to my runner capacity. There was one thing here. Where was it? Yeah, you get one scientist for every 61 calamities you trigger. Now, we are triggering them all over the place, so I think just getting one level in this is probably worth it. And then whenever you spend a soul, gain a dwarf. That doesn't sound that well. Where are we going to spend our last point? When you build a grand laboratory, it comes with 1, 2, 3 scientists. Maybe. Free stuff. Whenever a miner throws the pickaxe it has a 2% chance to transform it into a golden pickaxe, blessed by divine light, with additional crit damage and luck. That might be interesting. I'm probably overthinking this completely. Whenever a calamity triggers, all dwarves get a 10% cooldown reduction for 4 to 7 seconds. This is going to unlock a new building. Let's go with that one. And then we have a lot of new interesting stuff over here that we cannot pick up yet. So let's begin the game and see where we get. We have a nice little thing to start out with. We are going to get ourselves some dwarves. We are going to get ourselves a miner guild. And let's bring on some miners. Probably 8 of them. Let's upgrade them a little bit. We go, offering to the Great Mother. Let's make sure we have a Slayer. I actually didn't see what that did. So, a passive +1 for our runner's capacity. That seems pretty decent to start out with. Yeah, so a little bit of everything. Let's also get the Demolition Shack. Let's put that on here as well. Let's get ourselves some free demo dwarves. Those are all free, so that's kind of nice. Let's make sure we upgrade them straight away. Just an upgrade here and there. There we go. That's already quite a few of those demolition guys that we have there. Remember, we're just at level 1, so we want to get back to level 20-ish as quick as we can. I didn't really feel like the Flameworks was doing enough, but I do think the ballistics are really good, so let's get those ahead of the other ones. And then we do need dwarves, actually. There we go. I'll pick my artifact in a second. Let's make sure we get our first ballista up and running. And let's make sure we get some basic upgrades for that. There we go. Okay, so what did we get for our first artifact? A passive upgrade to our ballistas. An upgrade to our runner's capacity, or additional luck for our runners. Let's go with the highest tier one because we already have the ballistas anyway, and so we can start doing as much damage as we can. Now, this is a little bit of a slow part. Oh, look, there's an artifact here already. Is that another artifact? One of them was this. This is the one I think I just picked, but this one is then something we just got from a den. I think so. That's level 2 done already, by the way. And the first 2 points up and running. Yeah, so that's the one we picked. You go pick this one up. Go, go, go. I want to know what this is. And there we go. 4 mithril and 500 gold. I mean, I'll take it. That's a lot of mithril to get this early. But, yeah. So where do we go next? We have some more buildings we can unlock. We should probably get the Flameworks and just put it in here just because we can. And the first couple of flamers are free. Well, not entirely free because you do spend dwarfs on them. But yeah, let's just upgrade them a little bit. Like I said last time, we should probably get the cheaper upgrades as quickly as possible. And then just kind of upgrade everything at the same time. What do we get here? So collect a whole bunch of gold. That's nice. All gems are worth 10% more. That is probably going to add up to be more than this one. Or collect, trigger 10 calamities. All dwarves have plus 20% calamity damage multiplier. Whenever you trigger a calamity, all dwarves get 25% cooldown reduction for 6 to 12 seconds. Huh. This is interesting, but I kind of want to do this when I have my scientists up and running, right? Do I wait for that? I don't think so. I definitely need more runners, by the way, because I did start with a couple of them, but obviously we need more. I think I'm gonna go with this one first. This is just going to give me more money, and that is going to add up, and we want to get that as soon as possible. And look at our little den farming paying up already. There's another totem in here as well. Is this the one I just didn't pick, the Calamity Totem? Anyway, we just got an unknown amount of dwarves for free and then another point. Is this the one I decided not to pick? Ah, this is a different one. Whenever a Calamity triggers, all dwarves get their cooldown set 20% of max. Okay, that's interesting. So, since we're going to do so much with calamities, I definitely want that science thingy up and running. So we can start getting those free scientists. I also want a couple of cheap ones, I guess. There we go. And, I don't know, I'll take a laser cannon, I suppose. And then there's a lot of upgrades we can get. But let's see, we also need to pick another artifact over here. Additional running speed for our skaters, or gold falls from the sky. Meh. And this is also more gold. I mean, gold is good, don't get me wrong. I mean, this might be a nice little boost, but honestly, yeah, again, it's not that much. So we'll just pick the rarer ones, just because we can, and this will speed up the collection speed as well. Speaking of which, we should probably fire a large bomb in here, just to speed things up a little bit. Move everything along, and we are already on level 8. How long have we been playing in this run? Not that long, right? No, so 8 minutes, and we're already, but basically we're doing 1 level per minute at this rate already. That's a lot quicker than before. Okay, well, I just got a tier 2 artifact that is going to increase my dew cannons, which I don't have. So I think that's a hint by the game to tell me to get an artillery all up and running already. Oh, that's interesting. I can't actually place that where I was going to place it, so let's swap that with what? I don't know. Scientists, I guess. Now, let's see. Where did that just go? Did I just move something else? Yeah, I did move something else. Anyway, that's not that important. As long as I have some dwarves, which I can get because I do have money. Let's get at least 1 cannon up and running. There we go. And let's start upgrading that cannon as well. This is the mega cannon that we had that we, I think, only want to use once we're kind of like getting near a time limit, or honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, there is plenty of mithril, I think, in the stack here somewhere. Actually, maybe there isn't, because this seems to be sapphires mostly, things like that. Oh, there's a little bit of that, so that's adamantine, that's not mithril. Anyway, getting distracted, sorry about that. Let's do some upgrades here, and at least the gold ones we should be able to get very easily. And then let's fire a wind bomb, let's mark it then. And look at that, we are already at the level 13. And I've been playing how long now? 20 minutes on this run. But I think we're going to be able to get that Goblin King a lot faster this time around. I'm actually kind of curious, is this plus, does that mean I'm gonna get an artifact? I guess not. Still wondering what that means. I'm not entirely sure. The meteor shower is doing a pretty hefty job on my guys though. So what I haven't done yet this run is getting my anti-rock turrets up and running. So that's a couple of them. And now I just need some more gold and I can actually do stuff. Okay, that's a fair amount of money. Let's actually get some more dwarfs as well. There we go. And then let's check out the anti-rock turrets. So let's get one of them. And then let's upgrade this a little bit. I mean, the violin pianos sound really nice. They're doing a fairly good job at actually, you know, protecting my dudes now. I mean, they won't be able to hit everything. And especially some of these stones have a lot more hit points than some other stuff. So these, I don't know what they're throwing now, meat. Anyway, that seems to die pretty quickly. But the large rocks are a lot sturdier, for sure. Which makes sense. So it's kind of an interesting balance that the lasers actually also seem to damage the rocks. I'm not sure how much damage they're doing, but they do some damage to that. So let's make our beams a little bit better. Should I get another laser cannon? Maybe. I mean, they're not that good. Let's be fair, they're not that good. I might be better off spending that on some Duke cannons, because I haven't really done anything with that just yet. Oh, hello, that's another artifact, but 700 gold and 2 points, so that is definitely worth getting at random from these dens. What was I doing? I was going to buy myself a big cannon. So let's do that. Can I buy myself another cannon? No, because I don't have the mithril for that. That's a shame. I can, however, upgrade the cannons I already have. And... huh. I actually need some runesmiths and some scientists. Now, I do have 4 scientists, I believe 5 even. Where are my runesmiths? They are here, right? Yes. I only have 2 of them, so if I buy 2 more... there we go, we get all of these upgrades higher as well, so that's a pretty good way, actually, of upgrading my things. But there we go. Now we can get some other upgrades as well. We can get the cannonball size increased. This is actually a kind of nice defensive option as well. I don't have the mithril for it yet, so let's pick up something. We can get some gold. Gold falls from the sky. Okay. All gems are worth more, or all runes cost less gold. Let's go with all gems are worth 15% more. I think we have 2 of those items now, right? Didn't we have something else as well that increased the value of gems? Or is that in the previous runs and they're now kind of like melding together in my brain? Yeah, so this one, 10% more. And then... oh. Okay, just me then. Okay, well we have 12 out of 121 that we can get, so there's that. Oh wait, I keep forgetting that I don't instantly get the artifacts, but there we go, now we have 2 of them. So we have one that increases the value by 10% and one that increases it by 15%. So those gems are going to be pretty nicely selling now. Okay, so there we go, boom. And move everything up a little bit, and you guys start collecting a lot more stuff. Okay, so a couple of things to note at this point. The main limiting factor for my upgrade seems to be the mithril. We are getting a fair amount of gold per second or minute, whatever you want to call it. To the extent that I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job at keeping up with everything. We are already at level 18, by the way, didn't even realize that. So just spending my money is not a problem, but spending mithril is a problem because you have a fairly limited amount of that. On top of that, we got that cyber dwarf unlock over here, but I can't actually build that building yet because it says I need an entourage of scientists. Now, what is that? I don't know. Is that this? No. This is just going to upgrade my power overwhelming. It's over 9,000, so that's a reference to what? StarCraft and Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know how many scientists I need, so let's just keep buying scientists, I guess. Because what was the name for the upgrade? Let me double check. It was the Cluster Pick. It unlocks the Cyberdwarf upgrade in the Grand Laboratory. Cyberdwarf, half dwarf, half machine, and that unlocks a whole bunch of other things. So, let me see. Do I have that yet, cyber thingy? No. So I just need more dwarfs. Now, by the way, we also got that upgrade that gave me, you know, free scientists, I think. Did I end up getting that one? Free scientists for every time we had a calamity? Yeah, every 61 or 55. Well, we're on 47 right now, so we actually got nothing from that yet. Almost feels like a little bit of an idle moment as well. Is that like an idle element in this incremental game? There's a fine line between the two, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Let's get some more of those, so we can get some more scientists. Okay, now we can get the Quantum Scrambler, which is once again going to upgrade the laser cannon, and we can get the Projectile Empowering Field. Projectiles passing the laser beam now get empowered by it. Ah, okay. So everything that goes through the laser gets a bit of a boost. I mean, it's pretty cheap to get, so might as well. Okay. But I still can't pick up the Cyberdwarf thing here, right? No. So let's keep buying some scientists. Oh, we got the magnetic shielder aura. There's so much stuff on my screen. Hold up. Let's get this. Some mithril and points. Collect, destroy all dens and then spawn a couple of them. Destroying a den counts as if the destructor had plus 20 luck. Okay. Cannonballs can no longer hit runners and their boulder beam upgrades deals plus 2 damage. I'm tempted to get the tier 1. Just to get the points in the mithril. Although this is probably going to be more valuable, because this is also going to spawn mithril, I think. At least it has a chance to do so. Let's go with that one. Anyway, we were going to try and unlock some Cyberdwarfs, but still can't do that. So, there we go. Cyberdwarfs, we need 10 of these guys, by the way. That's quite a bit. Unlock Gorilla Arms and Rhino Legs for runners. There we go, we got that one. It's really nice. Something for the miners. Requires tier 4 prestige upgrade. Okay. But anyway, we can get some stuff for our runners then. Okay, so let's pick this one up. Gorilla Arms. Ooh, 20% carrying capacity increase. Whenever picking up a rock, runners have a 1.5% chance to flex hard and yeet their payloads back towards the stash. Like the chats they are. The odds are increased by 1.25% for each Cyberdwarf tier after the first. And then some for scientists and some per luck. Okay. And what are Rhino Legs? Just a flat percentage to carrying capacity upgrade. I mean, my carrying capacity isn't that high right now. It's plus 5 plus some upgrades from the artifacts and stuff, so they can probably carry like 6 or 7. I mean, by the looks of it, it's just 5. I think I had something that upgraded it. Maybe not. Yeah, we had this one. We got that one from the start, so we have a plus 1. But it actually feels like this might be a little bit more for the end game. Not really for where I'm at now. This doesn't feel like the end game at all. I think we're 1 level away from that goblin dude, by the way, so that's actually interesting. I guess the real question is, what are we going to focus on next? I once again kind of ignored these guys. So, you know, we might as well upgrade them a little bit. Let's not spend our souls, because I want to be a bit more cautious about what I spend those on. These are pretty powerful upgrades though, so, you know, there is an argument to be made for them. There's an argument to be made for a lot of these things, to be honest. It's a little bit overwhelming, but at the same time, that's kind of what I like, optimizing stuff. I was just thinking, should I do like a run where I just focus on my miners, for example? But you can actually see the game tells you, yep, nope, you're not going to do that, because miners are going to get really expensive really quickly if you do. So that's interesting. What I can do is kind of go through my buildings and see what is the cheapest guys that I can pick up. A Demo Dwarf could be pretty cheap, actually. A Runesmith. There we go. That one was really cheap. Okay, the scientists are becoming really expensive now, though. We are getting closer to the point where we are going to get a free one, but yeah, that was maybe not the best pick to get early on. I underestimated, or overestimated, I guess, how quickly these calamities come up. It's not that often. I could just let the game run for a little while and just farm. I mean, everything will continue. You don't have to babysit it. I don't think that's necessarily something that's going to pay off in the long run, though, because, I mean, your damage will drop off quite a bit if you're not actively, you know, increasing your base. I do think picking up another one of these cannons might be interesting. And then we also get these upgrades. Came in like a wrecking ball. Anyway, I think maybe just keeping it like this is fine. Is there any other buildings that I can get? Not right now. That's interesting. So there's like 5 more buildings that we can unlock that we don't have access to right now. Are these all behind the higher prestige ones? That's interesting. Well, we are at the Goblin King once more. We have only 2 and or 3 minutes in total to deal with him. I forgot, which one was it that had the big gun? This one. The bullet barrel. Now, this does cost expensive stuff. Boom. Then again, is that mithril coming out? Is that something else? Yeah. So I spent the mithril but gained the mithril there. Oh man, that's a lot of damage they're doing to my little poor runners. I mean, this is definitely the worst job in my Dwarven Empire. Slapping them still doesn't really feel worth it. I mean, yes, they wake up faster, but it's so much clicking. It's so much clicking. Actually, I wonder if I upgrade my clicking ability, does that make it faster? I don't know. I mean, now he just jumped up, but he was already on the floor for a little while. So let's see. If another one of my dudes gets hit now, and I click him, does that actually speed things up? We are doing, yeah, 21,000 damage per minute. No, we're not, because it's about 6,000 per minute, so that should mean we have no problem getting this den out of the way before the timer runs out. Now, someone hit my dwarf. That feels like a weird thing to ask for. I need a calamity or something. I want to test this out, guys. Come on. Anyway, in that case, do we fire another one of those big dudes? I guess. Might as well speed things up a little bit. Let's make sure we destroy the dens in the process. There we go. And yes, 46 minutes now for this run. At least this wasn't an entire run, but at least 46 minutes to kill that guy. Got a lot of points for that as well. Definitely faster than our previous run. Not super faster, but faster nonetheless. Oh my god, this calamity is just completely over the top. Look at that. That's... There's no shielding against that one, for sure. I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that I'm at a higher level now, or... I don't know, but I don't know how you're supposed to do anything against that. I mean, that's just pretty painful, to be honest. We have 22 points again. It feels like either a good moment to kind of start over again and then just get some tier 3 upgrades and see how fast we can get. There's also an incentive to just keep playing, but yeah, things are getting pretty expensive at this point. So I am just going to take my nice little points, prestige once more, and let's take a look at that tier 3 ones. Well, there's a couple of interesting things we can actually pick up. There is a manufactorium that we can unlock, which is going to give us bulldozers. That's another way to, I guess, to collect stuff. So let's pick that up. We can also unlock the Spelunkers Guild. This is going to give us spelunkers and treasure hunters who delve into the underbowels of the mountain seeking artifacts and ancient riches. Some may even return back home, so that sounds interesting. Just gonna pick up the new buildings. Then there's another upgrade over here, Eternal Feasting. That's going to auto-click for me on the mountain, wherever I click last. This might actually make clicking useful, so I'm gonna pick that up. This is a kind of interesting one as well. This is going to give me a flat upgrade to luck. Then there's a lot of upgrades for the harpoons actually, which is interesting, as well as upgrades for the flamers. Other than that, some upgrades for the laser cannons, but remember, these ones are pretty expensive, so I think I'm gonna go back to the earlier ones. Spending 3 points to start with 4 mithril actually sounds like a pretty good deal at this point. Additional force when clicking ores, not really interesting. I don't want to pick this one up either, so let me look through the tier 2 ones again. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna guarantee myself 3 artifacts at the beginning of the run by getting this one. And then I am going to buff my demo dwarves by quite a bit. This is going to give them 36% additional damage and additional force. So my demo dwarves have been my top performers for pretty much the entire run so far. So that's going to add up quite quickly. Now there's a lot more stuff that we can actually get over here. And remember, once we spent 125, there's tier 4, then there's tier 5 and tier 6. So that is a lot more to spend, and I'm only halfway into, well, a little bit more than halfway into actually opening up tier 4. So there is a lot more to do. At this point, I think it's gonna be a little bit repetitive for you guys to watch this. So let me do a couple more runs and then just report back in. Well, first and foremost, I played a little bit until we got to the point where it made sense to start unlocking some of our new buildings. So let's see, the manufacturer is something I don't know where to place, so let's just place it over here, I suppose. Oh wow, and we can get some bulldozers here, which I accidentally have enough mithril for to buy one, so let's get one of them. And what is that going to do? Is that the bulldozer? Is this the bulldozer? That was a little bit of Dutch coming through there. Ooh, it is. It has HP. Does my dwarves don't have HP, do they? No. Oh, yeah, that's definitely more efficient than my dwarves are. I mean, assuming it survives. I mean, it has 6 HP now. And then it's just gonna spit everything out. Okay, that's kind of cool. Oh, I can increase the storage capacity of the thing, so it's actually relatively cheap to do so. And I can increase the speed. That's never a bad thing. Reinforced hull. Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to die now. I was just gonna get stunned. I mean, that's not that bad. I was kind of thinking it might be destroyed somehow or something like that. But no, it's just gonna get stunned. Okay. Ooh, it gets a turret. A compact anti-air turret mounted on the back. Ooh, that sounds so cool. Again, I need... Oh, I actually do have enough mithril for it now. It has a mini turret on the back. That's so awesome. It's got actually already going back, even though it has only 1 capacity. That's weird. Can I click you? No, I can't click you. I mean, I click my dwarf, but I can't actually click the machine. Okay, so it was this thing, right? Yeah, I can get another turret. No, it's just the same turret, but still. Okay, we can also get gyrocopters. Putting some June in our dwarf game, I guess. They fly above the stash and fire short-range beams at falling rocks. They can also shoot fishing nets trying to catch falling ores or skim them from the top of the ore pile. This is not very effective early. I mean, let's just buy one of them. Let's give them a little bit of cooldown reduction. I have the money, so that's not a problem. More beams! Doing additional damage. Ooh, that's really expensive. Nets get an additional radius and stuff like that. I need so much more mithril. Okay, so where is it? Oh, it's over here. That's kind of cool. I mean, more things shooting at all those falling rocks is definitely going to help me out. There's no doubt about that. Can I also get the Spelunkers Guild? Yes, I can. Let's just also put that in the back over here. What's that gonna do? I can get some Spelunkers. They take 8 to 19 minutes to return. Okay, retrieving one of the following. There's definitely a little bit of idle gaming going on here. A pile of gold, scaled by the mountain level and mapping. Okay. There's some mithril chance as well. Some more mithril. Dance, nothing. Injury, doubling rest. Okay. One dwarf or scientist. Points, souls. A random artifact, death. Okay, a 3% chance to just straight up die. Each returning Spelunker increases the underground mapping by plus 1%. When Spelunker returns, he rests for 2 to 4 minutes and then sets off again. Okay, this is definitely the point of the game where you are intended to play it a little bit more idle. Okay, let's see. What else do we have going on here? Let me click this away so we can actually see what we're doing. Pinned to the chest of those who never drop a load. Passive. Whenever a runner reaches his maximum carrying capacity, he gains a magical shield that protects him from falling rocks for 15 to 30 seconds. That's really good. This is a level 1 thing. That's probably not as good. Pure gold ores are worth 15% more. No, I'm definitely going for this medallion. Let's make sure it's on the front. There we go. Yeah, he's gonna run straight back with it. Zoop. Okay, I have to say the bulldozers are awesome. Okay, and then there's the Spelunkers Guild, and the Spelunkers have that ratio to return, but if you increase the underground mapping, you increase the percentage of the good outcome, so that's interesting. There's also these treasure hunters, which kind of do the same thing, but they can also retrieve random artifacts, which tier is dependent on the mountain level and the mapping. So right now I could have a 20% chance for a unique tier 5 artifact. I'm not sure if that's, I mean, if that's supposed to scale, then I don't know what is, but, I mean, that sounds really, really good. There's also some very interesting other upgrades here, by the way. So, you have an upgrade that has an additional luck chance whenever you're destroying a den. But we also have mithril defining, which gives all the dwarves an additional mithril luck. So this increases the amount of mithril you actually gain, which is one of the main bottlenecks that I had so far. Now, Drums in the Deep, once again, nice Lord of the Rings reference, increases the chance of multiple dens appearing by 30%. So more dens is more artifacts, is more mithril, etc. And then, yeah, you can just make them come back faster, for example. So might as well pick that up. Underground mapping increasing, and let's see, something else that was interesting. Increases the odds of Spelunkers retrieving points by a certain percentage. So that is definitely going to be interesting as well, especially if you are farming this in the long run, because that's going to give you quite a bit of extra stuff you can farm. Okay, so I did a few more runs that were pretty much the same as you saw before. I did get a little bit further ahead though, but no spoilers just yet. But mostly I got a lot of new upgrades, and specifically I unlocked, I think, all of the buildings now, along with some of the special abilities, so let me dive into that. Now there's a nice little thing that I could unlock at tier 5 that allows me to keep random artifacts from the previous run, but also select one from the previous run that I can just keep. Now you cannot pick any of the ones that give you points, that makes sense, otherwise it will be really easy to stack them up really fast, but other than that you can pick any artifact you want to keep. And I collected most of the artifact in the previous run, so I'm gonna go with Tome of Calamity. This one is going to give me a flat increase to all my damage every time we get a Calamity, and trust me, we're gonna get a lot. You'll see how crazy this will get. Now this ability actually appears several times in the game, so I can pick a second one to just get guaranteed, and I think I'm gonna go with this one. This is going to give me additional mithril luck, which just makes farming all of those upgrades a lot easier. Okay, my dwarves are already collecting those artifacts, and that means we are starting out with, what, 6 of them right from the get-go? That's gonna be pretty awesome. Now let's see, what are we getting? We get more valuable diamonds, we're gonna get, oh, more calamities. Okay, interesting. We are going to get that mithril luck. Oh, I really wish now that they picked up the Tome of Calamity, because I don't think these calamities are going to count for that. But it is what it is. Ooh, they are getting yeeted around. I actually turned off the screen shake, because once you get to this point of the game, well, not this point of the game, but the advanced portion of the game, the screen just starts shaking so much that I don't want to, you know, damage your eyes or anything like that. Okay, so I have a lot of free dwarfs, as you can see over here. So let's start with 9 miners. Let's get the free runners as well. I think I'll just start out with 10 runners, just to make things a little easier. Let's get them some basic upgrades as well. We have a lot of money to start out with, so that's really nice. Yeah, getting them all of the basic upgrades for speed and carrying capacity and stuff like that. Additional luck can't hurt either. Make the guzzler a little bit more efficient. We already have gorilla arms, which is going to increase my carrying capacity as well. Look, gold falls from the sky. And there we go. Now we have the Tome of Calamity. We're already on 16 calamities, by the way. Clicking on Dent now deals more damage. Well, no, that's not really gonna help that much, I think. Let's see, let's check out this thing already. It actually doesn't track how much damage we get, which is interesting, because a lot of these other things are tracking how much damage it's adding up to, but this one doesn't, which is a little bit of a shame. We get such a high percentage chance for getting artifacts as well that this is going to stack up really quickly at this point. I'm firing my laser, is inscribed in the back. Believed to be an undecipherable teaching of some ancient deity. Laser cannon damage, miners damage, runners dodge. I think I'm actually going to go with the dodge. That is going to be just a nice little way of speeding things up, I think. Okay, that's another artifact. Things are now getting in faster than I can talk about them. Okay, the Demo Dwarf upgrade, we get Mithril, some points, dance, and calamities. Okay, we get the dodge. That's another one. When a den is destroyed, there's a 12% chance to spawn another den or Mithril thing. That is going to help me get more dens more quickly. Are you done now with spamming? Yes, okay. So, we had the dwarves, we had the runners. Let's make sure we get some of the other stuff going as well right away. We might as well buy the free housing. There we go. Let's buy the demolition shack, because the demo dwarves are actually not going to be my main damage dealers, believe it or not. But you'll see how that works in a second. They are going to be the main damage dealers at the start. So let's get some of the upgrades. There we go. Give them some extra force, some additional power, deal extra damage against dens. Sure, why not? I still have plenty of money. Now I don't need to... I should be careful that I don't overdo it, because we have a lot of other stuff to buy. The Flameworks, we're going to get that running as well. Let's get some free flamers. Let's upgrade them as well. Sure, we can spend a little bit of upgrades here. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna pick up these keys whenever I can now, because as it turns out, there's a little event that I failed last time, so I actually don't know what it is, but that requires me to have certain keys, and I'm going to guess it's the ruby key and then the other two versions of that. I did collect them all between the runs, but never in the same run, and I think that's what you need to do. Where are they? They are... Now I lost them. Oh, they're over here. So the ruby key, there's another couple of keys in here. The ordering is different though, that's interesting. Anyway, there's 3 of them. And we're going to collect all 3 of them, hopefully, and then be able to open that door. I think my ruby key just got yeeted into space. There we go. Now we also have a chance to get free rituals, which will be really nice. So we get the Holy Pickaxe and we get the Ruby Key. Okay, well, that's another 3 artifacts done. We have how many artifacts now? I've barely even started. We have 13 already, and we are like a couple of minutes into this run. Look at the amount of gold, by the way. Okay, I was in the process of buying new stuff. So let's get the Ballistics Workshop up and running. Speaking of artifacts, yeah, I mean, let's just trigger more calamities, I guess, because calamities are going to give us flat damage increases now. What was I buying? Oh, the ballistas, right? Let's put the ballistas here. I think that's fine. Yay, gold. Okay. Let's get a couple of ballistas in. 3 should be fine. Then some upgrades, and I don't want to get multi-shot just yet because I want my souls for other things. Let's get Flaming Bolt though. Putting the entire mountain on fire will add up. You can see the fire damage already starting to add up quite a bit. The Yeah, I think that's it for the moment. Now let's get the laboratory in here as well. The laboratory already comes with 3 scientists, thanks to my upgrade, so that's really nice. I am going to add that up all the way to 10, because I think that's kind of like the magic number. I also want some laser cannons, and there you go. Now we have a whole bunch of upgrades instantly unlocked. And alchemy is actually a very interesting rituals that we can do. This is going to give us a random effect, and we are looking for the Philosopher's Stone, apparently, which is required to access the Great World Spire. What it is, I don't know. I'm assuming that's probably something that comes along somewhere around a level 100 or so. We'll have plenty of time to do that, but first we need our economy up and running a little bit, because this does cost mithril, and I need that for other stuff. So let's add another cannon to that. We will get our pot of greed now in. Some upgrades, sure. Let's just get the cheap ones for the moment. That's going to be very useful. So interesting, for every time I do that alchemy research thing, I will also get a flat damage increase to my laser cannons, which is really nice. And the laser cannon can now also empower other things moving through it. So I think I want my laser cannons to be somewhere in the middle, so as much of the things that the other dwarfs throw are going to go through the beams and thereby get empowered. We'll optimize the ordering in a second, because we have more buildings to get. Let's also get a new relic over here, so 10% minor damage. Whenever you collect an artifact, there's a 70% chance of trigger a range of gems. Calamity. Yeah, more calamity sounds like a good thing, actually. Normally I would pick this one for the points, but let's go for calamities, because that's damage increases. Okay, let's see. What else do we need to get? Oh, look, we got more gold. Right. So, the Great Forge. That is going to come with 3 runesmiths again. Let's get a few more of these. Let's get the mithril forging up and running, because that's going to unlock a lot of other upgrades. And now we have the forge artifact thing already available. And I'm going to trigger that right away, because that's going to hopefully give me a tier 5 artifact. Not sure if that's one of them. There we go. That will make all my underground housing cheaper. And we're just going to be trying to use this on cooldown whenever we can. Now, that's a little hard, because I do need a fair amount of mithril for that as well. But yeah. This is going to be fairly powerful as well, considering we have 6 runesmiths. So this means that we get 6 times every single one of these upgrades, and we can upgrade that even further in a second. But we'll get to that in a point. We can also unlock the ritual power, by the way, which is a nice little thing that will allow me to enchant my dwarves and make them even more powerful than they are already. So that's what that one does. Next on the list, let's get the manufactorium, or whatever you call that, up and running as well. Now this is going to give me access to the bulldozer. I definitely want one of those, because I have enough mithril for that, and the bulldozers are just super efficient at picking all of this stuff up. So a couple of upgrades, so the additional 9 carrying capacity is going to be very useful indeed. Flamers firebolts now do double damage. Okay, that's interesting, and since I just got my flamers already up and running as well. I haven't found much use for the gyrocopters yet, so I'm gonna hold off on buying those for a moment while I'm low on mithril. Speaking of mithril, any upgrades that will get me mithril are going to be very useful as well. Whenever you destroy a den, all dwarves get 10% haste for a couple of seconds and then 0.3% damage permanently. Yes, please. I mean, I'm gonna be destroying a lot of those since we're still just at the beginning of the game. Now look at that. We are already at level 13 while I was talking. Less resting time on my runners is going to be useful as well. Okay. We're gonna want more of these, by the way. But for the moment, let's also just focus on having those upgrades flowing in. We are going to pick up the artillery hall. Let's stack that one. I don't know, something like here. Oh, I'm actually out of dwarves, which are very cheap to get, so let's just get a whole bunch of them. There we go. All runes cost less gold. Interesting. That was not the one I wanted. This is the one I want. Look at how insane the game is already getting. Okay, so some upgrades for my nice little large cannons. Let's make the balls larger. We are very low on mithril, so we're gonna have to optimize our collection a little bit as well. But for the moment, let's just keep going. The Spelunkers Guild is something I definitely want to have up and running as early as possible as well. Okay, whenever they get stunned, and they will be getting stunned a lot, we might get some additional gems. It's interesting how the calamities are actually kind of helping me at this point, throwing stuff into the maw over here. Okay, so let's get a couple of spelunkers going and a couple of treasure hunters. Now, treasure hunters are going to help me get mithril as well as artifacts. So both of those are going to be super useful. I also got a couple of upgrades from the prestige tree that are going to give me increased damage bonuses and things like that based on my underground mapping. So again, that's a reason to invest in this, because that's just a flat upgrade to a lot of things. And I definitely want to get the mithril divining up and running. So let's get a couple of levels of that. That is going to be very helpful. It's interesting, I can't actually pick this up, but I don't know why. I think there's a hidden mithril cost in here that's just not showing because it doesn't let me click that. That happened to me the last time around as well. I could actually pick that up at some point. So I'm not sure why it's being bugged, but anyway, let's see. Drums in the Deep is quite useful as well because that just gives me more dents. A couple of levels is probably good. So now we kind of have this up and running. We're gonna want to upgrade a lot more things, a lot more, but one thing at a time. Let's see. We have 3 more buildings that I don't think I mentioned last time. So the Geode Sanctum is gonna cost a soul, so that's really expensive. But what this will allow you to do is get some stone callers, and these guys are just gonna stand there and kind of just summon stuff to the maw, so they will never get stunned. So this means you just have a kind of a stable inflow of money. What is this one? Whenever you destroy it, then... Oh, this is the one we actually got a long time ago, but my dwarves were struggling to actually get it to the maw. But yeah, these guys are summoning stuff to my maw, and there's a couple of nice upgrades in here as well that I will mention in a second, but let's pick up the Emerald Key. So we have another one of those keys up and running, and that means we should only be missing 1 more. It's a little bit unfortunate that it just got knocked all the way to the back. So let me use a bomb, maybe. Let's see if this helps. Did I aim that correctly? Well, it's definitely a lot closer now. There's just so much stuff still on the ground. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. I was talking about the Geode Sanctum. So, these are basically runners that just don't run. They're the lazy kind of runners, I guess, but there's nice upgrades in here that help you reclaim. If there's a lot of stuff on the floor, it starts to go back into the mountain, and this will help you make sure it doesn't. So that's one way of using this. Some upgrades that are very nice to make them faster. Some gem geysers, and then there's a couple of abilities here that allow you to transform materials into other materials. I haven't really used that yet, but this especially makes mithril that much more useful to use because you can turn it into dwarfs and you can turn it into soul. So if you are ever at a point where you are getting mithril because you can get an infinite amount of that basically, but you want some of the other materials that are harder to get, then this is how you do it. You can also turn souls into mithril and dwarfs. I don't know when you would use that. I would typically stay away from that, but yeah, I don't know. Let's see. We have more buildings to cover. So we have the meat hole. Now, I haven't found this to be super useful. You can get brew masters in here that for every brew master that you unlock, you get a different type of what is it? Lager or brew or some sort of booze basically that you can use this for. It costs a soul to unlock, so again that is pretty expensive, but that will buff your other dwarves, and of course if you have enough brewmasters that is going to be quite useful. So you have the Oxlager, which is going to make your runners be more efficient. You have the Bling Barrel, which is going to transform stuff on the ground into more useful other stuff. And then you have the Dragon Slayer's Ale, which is going to turn your dwarves into something more powerful. Well, it's just going to buff them, basically. Now, this is all random, so it's a little hard to control, which is why I'm not super fan of that. I'm also sure it's not... I'm actually not sure it's needed, but I'm not going to invest my souls in that just yet, because hopefully... where are my smiths? Here. Hopefully we can get some other nice relic out of this. There we go. Whenever the mountain would reclaim ore, there's a 6% chance that the Great Maw reclaims it instead. So this is actually kind of similar in terms of ability as the Geode Sanctum's ability to help you reclaim stuff. And that at some point, when you have enough stuff on the floor, that will actually become kind of a bit of a stable influence, stable income, not influence. Too much words, too much things happening on the screen. Okay, great. Duke cannons get a 10% additional damage. That is great. I am also going to pick up the shrine, so just you've seen everything there is to see. And let's put it just there. Now the shrine is going to generate faith, and you want to get that running as early as possible as well, because it's dependent on how many priests you have. So let's get a couple of them. And every time I will destroy a mountain, I will get some faith. I'm out of dwarfs again, so let's just grab some more. Where is my shrine? There. We need to expand the holy grounds in order to do anything with that, and once we do, we can start building altars. Now these altars will allow us to buff certain areas of the game. So we have the Maw altar, which is going to give me some sacrifice rituals and help me reclaim ore again. We have the Mother altar, which is going to make my underground housing less expensive. We have the Grom altar, which is going to help me do some more damage through my demo dwarfs, as well as buff my other dwarfs if you get more of these altars. And then we have the Shabu, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Shabu I guess, altar, which is going to increase the chances for alchemy and spelunkers and stuff like that to increase. Now, I actually think this might be the best one, because we do want that alchemy thing to do something for us, but I need to just gather some faith first. Anyway, that covers all of the buildings. Now all we need to do is make sure we get all of the keys, all of the artifacts, and all of the levels, I guess. Now, it's worth noting that how long has this run been going? I'm already almost level 20, and yeah, you can see 18 minutes in. So this is way faster than our first couple of runs, which of course is by design, but still. Whenever you use the Forge Artifact Ritual, all dwarves gain plus 30 damage and 10 mithril luck for 20 seconds. I mean, I'm gonna do that anyway, so I might as well get that ability up and running. Now, let's see. I need probably a little bit more income, and I really want to get myself another one of these. So I'm gonna get another bulldozer. I am going to focus a little bit on upgrading that, maybe some more HP as well. Yeah, again, the gyrocopters are not super useful, I don't think. The mithril defining, yep, let's just get 2 levels of this. This is going to make sure we're going to get a lot more mithril coming in. Now, of course, that only works if we're actually getting it. So next step is going to improve some of this. Now, the magnetic gloves are super vital to make sure that the dwarves are just standing around forever. I really want to get the Exalted Beard as well. That is a massive survivability increase to the dwarves. And as you can see, we're already getting quite a few calamities. And oh, speaking of defense, I should probably get my free anti-rock turrets. I almost forgot about those, so that's 4 of them. Let's make sure we upgrade them a little bit with some additional cooldowns and stuff. The burst fire, yeah, I definitely want to get at least 1 level of that as well. And the railgun retrofit, I don't think I've shown that so far, is actually really, really cool as well, but we need another 2 mithril for that as well. Now, actually, we've gotten a fair few mithril coming in already, so that's kind of cool. Let's see, what are we going to go for next? Maybe I should just get some upgrades for my normal runners as well. Might as well. I mean, they're doing a fairly large part of the job. But yeah, I think for the moment, yeah, we just need to kind of wait it out for a little bit, get a little bit more income, do some basic upgrades. So the Big Bad Bomb is free, the first level. That was kind of awesome because we got an artifact that does that. I'm just gonna let it farm for a little bit, and then I'll come back straight away showing you some more upgrades. Well, I only farmed for a little bit, and then we got the Goblin King, so let's see how fast we can actually kill this guy this time around. We're doing already 9,000 almost DPM, and that's about a little bit more than what you actually need. You need about 6,000 to 7,000 to reliably kill him without any special abilities, and yeah, as you can see, we are probably well within that range. Now, what am I going to do in terms of upgrades to boost my damage a little bit further? Let's see, who did we neglect so far? Actually, the miners. We didn't upgrade the miners at all. So let's make sure we get them some luck. We get them some basic upgrades. These are all super cheap. So this is going to be a significant increase to their damage. The mithril pickaxes is going to give them some crits. Some gem luck, yep, and some calamity multiplier as well. This is going to cost me all of the mithril that I had, but we have more where that came from, so that's not really going to be a problem, I don't think. Let's round this out to a nice 10. Actually, maybe 16 is the nice number to go, so we have a clean stack. I might want to do some of that optimizing, the aesthetic optimizing that is, later on, but for now I just need more damage. And you can see I just upgraded my miners and the damage already went up to 10,000. Now, interestingly enough, the miners themselves are not even doing the major damage. That is the demo dwarves doing that for me. I probably want to add a few of these as well, just because they are doing so much damage. But you can already see the flamers are already in second position, and I haven't really spent any time upgrading them so far at all. Now, let's see, we could start doing that a little bit. The main upgrade that you are looking for, by the way, is, where is it? I mean, all of them are kind of nice, but actually it's this one, the Great Pyre. So what do we need in order to do that? We need to upgrade this a little bit more. So Infernal Symphony amplifies the damage for all the other attacks by 2% per stack. Now, the stacking can get pretty high. Right now we can have at most 6 stacks, but we can upgrade to 8, and now it's already at 9, etc. So this is going to allow us to massively increase all the damage done by all the other dwarves as well. So that's quite significant. We killed the Goblin King, by the way, in 2 minutes without doing anything special, so that's kind of nice. And we just got bling. Runners get additional luck, and the goblins crown should also be in here somewhere. There it is, and that's another 4 prestige points for us as well. Now at this point, like I said, let's check the time. That's a 20-minute run. We already got 24 prestige without even trying, and you could easily keep farming, but I think farming the levels themselves is more important. Okay, that was a little bit of grinding, but now we can get ourselves another Forge artifact. Let's get that going. We just got 10% damage for our miners, but there we go. Whenever you consume a mountain, all dwarves gain plus 2% damage permanently, and well, we have quite a few levels to go, so that's going to stack up pretty heftily. Honestly, that could be one of the artifacts that you might want to start out with in your run as well. I mean, at this point, that would already have gotten me about 40% damage increase. I mean, that's a lot, to be fair. But anyway, getting it now is still pretty early on, I think. Now, let's kind of bump everything and keep farming, because honestly at this point I think the main thing I just need is more income. Now let's see, we could get some more runners. Let's just get a couple of them. Let's increase all of their capabilities. And do I have enough for the beard? Or I know, because I just spent it all on my forging of an artifact. Now I do think you should forge those artifacts first. There's a couple of artifacts that actually give you back mithril and souls as well, so if you craft those, I mean, that's just almost free, and that also means you get all of those powerful buffs as soon as you can, and that will make everything else that comes after that easier. That said, we do have quite a bit of money to spend, so let's take a look at our demo dwarves. Let's get one of you, so we have a nice little row of 4x4, 2x4 I should say, and then we can increase your damage a bit as well. Let's not spend any mithril for the moment, but if we look at the flamers, we can get the radius of the fire fields up and running as well, so that just makes it easier for everyone else to benefit from those stacking buffs. Oh man, the levels are going so quickly at this point. I also think, yeah, getting a few more flamers is probably worth it. They are already competing for top damage, so adding 2 of them should do the trick. And now I'm kind of out of money again for a moment. Alright, things are already getting pretty intense, but for the moment we're doing just fine. Every now and then, by the way, you'll see these stacks of stuff flying around the screen. That's the gorilla arms, in effect, by the way. They are just yeeting stuff across the screen, so that's kind of cool. It's a massive increase in your efficiency, by the way, because they don't have to actually run all the way back, and half the time they get hit by some sort of a rock anyway, so yeah. That helps. Ooh, and that actually helps quite a bit as well. I actually haven't seen an artifact drop in quite a while. It's just a little bit underwhelming. But anyway, what I wanted to do was to kind of fix that problem by getting a couple of levels of relic rating. This is going to increase the drop chance of artifacts from dense by a significant percentage. So this is going to cost me quite a bit of mithril. I just spent 8 mithril, I believe, or something like that. But now we have the increased chance of a drop from an artifact by 8%. So that is twice as much, I think, as what we got from the talents. So yeah, we should be getting all of those artifacts pretty quickly now. Let's see how many artifacts we already have. 33 out of the 121 that we can get. Yeah, let's just keep the mithril coming. So I'm just going to pick whatever is going to give me more souls or mithril, because that will allow me to upgrade my things even further. I'm not that worried about prestige points at this point. We're gonna get those artifacts anyway. I mean, that's kind of the idea anyway. But focusing on things that allow me to upgrade, I think at this point is a little bit more efficient. Now, let's go back to our ballistas, and specifically our anti-rock turrets. I have enough stuff to buy a few more of them. I also want to... let's see. I kind of want to retrofit one to a railgun, because that's going to be quite important in order for my defense to work like I want it to. Now, let's see. I just upgraded the cooldown a little bit, and this guy now has its own railgun. And that's a pretty hefty boost in terms of the defense capabilities. This thing just does a lot more damage. And, you know, all of these are doing a pretty good job as well. Do we have our guns on top of our... No, we don't. Let's see. Let's get a gun on top of our little, what do you call these, bulldozers as well. Again, that's just going to add some more defense. And for the same reason, we might as well get some gyrocopters up and running as well. Mostly because the upgrades for these things are relatively cheap initially, and that is going to allow me to do some more defense. So let's just pick everything that doesn't cost mithril. There we go. And now we have something else shooting at the falling rocks as well. So now you can see things are getting quite intense already. Let's see. We could also upgrade the lasers with a magnetic shielder aura. This is going to allow them to shoot falling rocks as well. Not really sure I want to spend the soul for this. Let's just do it anyway, and then we can get a second level straight on top of that. So now we have a third chance to do that. We might as well just add a couple of laser cannons while we're at it then anyway. So that's another one added. We just got an increase to the large cannons over here as well. And if I can get one more mithril, I can get myself another laser cannon. Well, the increased mithril luck is paying off because I already have 7 again. So let's get maybe 2 cannons? I don't know, might as well. And then I am going to check which one was it. The empowering field, right? Yeah, that's increasing the crit chance and the luck on every ability passing through. So let's get a couple of levels of that. Then maybe some energy sustainer, maybe make the beam a little bit broader. I don't know, let's just get all of the upgrades. Actually, I have quite a bit of mithril, so let's do a alchemy. Yay, 2 points. I mean, that's not really what I'm looking for at the moment, but it's hard to say no against permanent upgrades. Now let's see, let's get cookie cutter as well. This is going to massively boost the damage of my cannons as well. And while I'm at it, I'm just gonna buy another dwarf and just buy another cannon, I think. I mean, it might be a little bit weird to have so many cannons. Now what I am going to do, as you can see, the cannons are kind of halfway up, but if I do this, if I swap the these and put them on top, I think this will make sure that as many projectiles move through the beams as possible, because they're kind of not halfway in here. So any projectiles going down will be hit by it, any projectiles going up will be hit by the beams. I mean, of course, assuming the beams are active, but hopefully we'll see them firing their lasers all at the same time. This Spelunker got me some gold, nice. Look at the disco over here. Yeah, this is going to massively boost stuff, and yeah, that should be a pretty decent damage increase. Now, speaking of which, let me cycle through all of my things. So I have the ballistas over here that I barely spent any time upgrading. And I'm mostly getting a lot of gold at this point. So just going through all of those gold upgrades. makes sense. Now, let me check the miners, by the way, because I think I neglected to upgrade those. Let's check the runners. It's also something I tend to forget. So getting a couple of these upgrades, a lot of these upgrades just cost me gold. So upgrading them is very straightforward as soon as you have a stable amount of money flowing in. And speaking of money, let's see, we can get a increase to all the gold refining and gems refining, additional gem luck, maybe. Let's just go for the flat increase of currency. And that is the artifact that we just gained. Now, I haven't really gotten any artifacts for quite a while at this point, considering how many of these dens and stuff I'm breaking. But increasing the damage and maybe the amount of ballistas that we have could go a long way to fixing that. So let's add another ballista to the mix. And let's keep upgrading our ballistas. Now, we could also get them a crit chance. That's probably going to be helpful. As well as a Monster Bane upgrade once I get some more mithril in, because these things can actually target the dens, and that is going to make destroying them a lot easier. Okay, so let's see, we are at level 29 and we're doing about 30,000 damage per minute, which takes about 2 minutes to clear a level, so I think it is time to start upgrading our damage again a bit. There's a couple of ways to go around that, but I want to, I think, get myself a couple of smiths. And let's just have a nice round number of 10. And then I am going to get Rune of Might, a Rune of Flame for the crit. Actually, hold on, I thought this was worked different. So this is only for the miners, so they now get a 20% damage boost. The Flamers and Demo Dwarfs get a 10% boost. Let's increase our gathering speed by 20%. Then let's get everyone a 15% crit chance. Let's get everyone 16 luck. And let's get everyone, or all the ballista, laser cannons, great duke cannons, as well as bulldozers at 10% reduction speed as well. And then, what is this? All dwarves get a flat damage per runesmith. So yeah, that's going to be a 10% increase, and then some crit chance, and then some luck. Okay, well that's quite a bit of upgrades for a relatively small investment. So that is going to make everything a lot more powerful. Now I'm actually going to unlock ritual power as well. This is going to allow me to enchant my dwarves to do more damage or get them more luck and more crit. And I am going to wonder why I can't do this. Oh wait, I just need to click it once and it gives me an error. But then I can start selecting, let's say, my demo dwarves, considering they are the most powerful at the moment. And give them a nice little boost in their luck. And then I can do the same thing for the precision. So let's give them some crit, and then I can do the same thing for the luck I already did. Which one didn't I do? This one. Let's give them some additional damage during a calamity as well. And yeah, that's going to just flat out boost them forever. So that's already going to give me a nice little bonus. You can see we're up to about 40k now. It's going up and down a little bit. It's a bit volatile. My second damage dealers are my flamers at the moment. So let me select the ritual once more. There we go. And then let's just make them lucky. Let's make them more precise. And let's make them work harder during a calamity as well. Now, speaking of the Flamers, they have a special ability called the Flame Lord. You basically upgrade a Flamer into a more powerful version of that, which is going to go and fire large fireballs at the mountain instead. And these benefit from pretty much all the upgrades that the other ones get as well. They will just not leave any fire behind. So you want a kind of a mix between these guys as well as the normal flamers, so that you have the flamers applying the fire to the mountain so you can get the multiplier, and then you have the flame lords just doing a massive amount of damage. Now when I say massive, I do mean massive, and I'll show you that in a second, but first I need some more mithril. Okay, so there's the mithril, and now let me show you the true power of the flamers. I'm gonna get a single flame lord. Now remember, my flamers are already sitting on top of my damage tree, which is doing about 35 to 40,000 damage, depending on when you look at it. So this is just going to be a single one. Now this is the one you can see over here with the glowing eyes. And I'm also going to make sure that we're going to upgrade our damage against dens, making sure we can actually crit with fire now. This is all pretty cheap actually to get, so this is a 12% crit chance for almost nothing. Let's add some more stacks, let's add some additional duration as well. Let's just get the flat speed and radius increases. Now look, we maxed out an ability, that's a first. Yeah, I'm just gonna go and keep increasing these boosts and fire. Yeah, increasing the damage per Brewmaster is not really powerful, but the first level was pretty cheap to get, so, you know, might as well. What is this? Infernal additional damage per stack. Yeah, I think I might get a single level as that as well, because that is going to add up quite a bit, considering I can have 11 stacks. So, you know, that is 5 damage per stack already. Okay, we just got some free scientists, that is nice. And I'll just keep upgrading this for a second. Oh look, more artifacts. Ballistas and turrets get a plus 10% accuracy bonus, that is really nice. And look at that, my damage already shot up quite a bit. But you can see this single Flame Lord is doing 5,000 damage by himself already. So this, and that is still going up because he's still ramping up his damage. Yeah, this is these two lines combined is what my Flamers are doing, which is puts them at the top of my damage tree, and it's not even close. Anyway, I'm gonna farm for a little bit and make sure that we get our collection speed up and running, because as you can see we have a massive stack of gold just waiting for us there. I'm going to do that by upgrading my runners, by upgrading my bulldozers, as well as upgrading my stone callers. All of them help me collect stuff, so might as well focus on all of them in an equal way. Okay, so it feels like I'm doing a pretty decent job in clearing the floor. I do have, what is it, 15 runners now running back and forth. I could upgrade them even further. And I also have just 2 bulldozers, but I upgraded them quite significantly as well. Now, of course, my gyrocopters, I just bought 2 of them as well, are also kind of farming some of the ore. They fire these nets, which only really work if the stack of stuff is high enough. But you know, at least they're helping out a little bit. So I think we can focus on doing more damage now. I did get most of the affordable upgrades for my my flamers. There's a couple of them that I can still get. I'm mostly thinking, let's get another Flame Lord in here, and then maybe add in a couple. Oh, the next one is really expensive. I was also gonna say a couple of Flamers. Now we do need to balance this out a little bit, but adding a second Flame Lord to the mix is definitely going to increase my damage by quite a bit. Let's have the Great Pyre stacking up. I do have 4 souls now at this point, so let's get some additional damage going in here as well. Oh, I should probably have gotten this instead. Well, let's just get it anyway. That way we can double up on the amount of flames that we get. And oh, I actually never got the amplification for the flamers. Let me get one more mithril and then we're going to get this as well. Okie dokie, a significant amount of stuff was collected, and now I can get myself Infernal Symphony. And let's see, we are about 230, 240k damage now. Let's see what this adds up to once we let it digest for a little bit. Let's see, what else should we be getting here? Additional stacks, never a bad thing. Additional crit, also never a bad thing, considering how much money we have. Let's add some additional shots to the mix as well. The rest here is still pretty expensive, and I do think I want to focus on some other things as well. For example, I was kind of ignoring my cannon so far. So let's add a couple of those as well, and let's start upgrading them a little bit. Some of these upgrades are really cheap, as you can see, and I have plenty of money to go around. There we go, we upgraded the massive balls. I don't think I want to spend the souls for the moment, because oh, there's actually an artifact stuck in here as well. Because I want to keep forging artifacts from this point forward. So let me focus on just getting all the upgrades that don't cost anything. All dwarves deal 35% additional damage against dens. Is quite a bit, to be fair. Look at that, that's a almost 50% increase to their firing speed. That's gonna be a massive damage increase. And look at that, the Fire Lords are now doing 165k damage by themselves. Yeah, it's not even close how much damage my flamers are doing compared to everyone else. And it's not like I've been neglecting upgrades on the others, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some more upgrades I could be getting for them. Especially things like Seismic Revelations is really good to get, because this will mean we get more and more of those dents appearing. Look at how much stuff is on the floor. It's crazy, people. It is really, really fun. This is going to give me additional mithril luck as well. Just for the demo dwarves though, so it's not gonna apply to everyone. But yeah, just getting some of this out of the way is really nice. There we go. Let's get another level of this. Cooldown reduction on my demo dwarves is never a bad thing either. Yeah, there's several artifacts actually stuck in here now for the moment. Well, not really stuck. I mean, they do kind of go to the front, and all of these random events happening kind of shovel everything around as well, like those explosions that you just saw. So that just helps you make sure that things don't get stuck in here indefinitely. Oh, look at that. Destroy the mountain before the dragon burns down your kingdom. I don't think that's gonna be a problem, because by the time I saw this... Oh man, spam, spam, spam. As you can see, we are doing 600k damage per minute, and a single level has half of that. So we're actually destroying a level in half a minute now. That might be too quick, because I think I still don't have my last key yet. My special key that I need. Now, what do we want here? Let's just get the mithril as well as the additional points. Is the key stuck in here somewhere? No, I don't think so. Oh, that dragon is another problem. Let's put it like that. We took him down in less than a minute. Ice stone. An additional upgrade for my crystals. That's nice. I assume we get some sort of artifact. Oh, there's an artifact in here. Gremlin's Cage. I assume there's some sort of artifact for killing the dragon as well. What I really want to do though is... And I hope the mess on the screen is manageable. Or bearable, I should say. What I want to do is do some more forging of artifacts. Let's see what we just got. Dragon egg. Oh, that's the thing we just got from the dragon, I think. That's gonna be a lot of gem spawning. And we require this to access the Great World Spire. Now, actually, I don't know when that will come up. I haven't seen that yet. Might be, I don't know, level 60 or 50 or something like that. Might be even higher. That's a lot of artifacts gained. Still not the key, though. And I think the key is at level 50, if I remember correctly. If that doesn't happen, I'll just reboot and play through it again. And then don't have you sit through everything once more. Because I do want to see what happens once we get that. Okay, anyway, what was I doing? We have so much stuff to do, actually. Let's get an alchemy trigger in as well. We gained 6 dwarfs. That's significant, honestly. We have 5 souls as well. Let's upgrade our cannons a little bit. Yeah, some of these upgrades are really cheap, and I haven't really been focusing on that too much. We got a beer nuke. Okay. That's a lot of gold. Yeah, this alchemy trigger, I mean, it does cost you mithril, but it is pretty good. That's a couple more artifacts out of the way. Still not the one we want, though. Oh, hey, flamers, 20% additional damage. Yes, please. Let's do some more alchemy. A rain of frogs, yay. Let's unlock the cyber dwarfs as well. Let's probably reduce the cooldowns on the laser cannons by quite a bit, considering how many dwarfs we have. Let's superheat the laser cannon as well to get some more gems going. What else do we need? Probably not this though. Okay, housing costs less, so in case I need more dwarfs, that's really nice. Speaking of dwarfs, let's see, we have quite a bit of faith now. So what do I want? Those are all those artifacts. There's another artifact in here. Still don't see the key though. What can we do to get more... artifacts? Is there anything that helps me with that? It's this one, right? The increases the odds of good outcomes for spelunkers, treasure hunters, forge artifact, etc. Especially for unique artifacts. I think they're all unique, but okay. All falling rocks are transmuted into rocks or maybe gems. That's a nice way to counteract some of those calamities. We could upgrade this even further. And at tier 3, periodically spawns random ores above the shrine based on priests and the OPM of other collectors. Huh. Well, we actually have enough for level 2, so let's get that going. Maybe add in some more priests just to speed up the level of collecting of faith. But yeah, we have 2 levels. We can expand holy ground. I don't think we need to do that, right? We can just keep upgrading this altar already. But if I pick this, oh, I can pick a second altar. Okay. I mean, a flat 2% damage per priest is quite nice, I guess. Or alternatively... Honestly, not sure which is better. I mean, this is going to be a pretty hefty increase to the amount of resources I'm getting, but it's not like I'm lacking money at the moment. Let's just go for the Holy Hand Grenade Demo Dwarf upgrade. I don't think I've seen that so far. But again, we need more faith in order to do that. Refill, but then maybe we should get some more spelunkers actually. Or which one? The treasure hunters were the ones that were getting me random artifacts, right? So that's 7 of them. Let's increase their return speed by quite a bit. We can make everyone more lucky when they destroy a den, so that's quite useful. What does this do? Oh, the chance of dropping artifacts. We already increased that by quite a bit, but we can take another level. As you can see, we have a massive amount of money coming in. The main limiting factor will still be the speed on collecting as well as the mithril. So all in all, I think just increasing this by a little bit is worth it though. Let's get another spelunker in. Let's see. We have 7 of them out adventuring. There we go. Oh, look, another artifact. So bulldozers increase, the runner increase, or laser damage increase. I think we'll just go with the Red Bull. Making sure our collectors on the ground are doing as much as we can is definitely a good thing. And look at the insanity on the screen right now. There are several artifacts in here. But I still don't see the key. Oh, there's a third one in here as well. But I still don't see the key that we need. I'm getting a little bit worried now. Honestly, at this point, I'm not even sure what I'm doing that's increasing the damage of the flamers by so much, because I haven't really focused on giving them any upgrades that I didn't show you. But yeah, they're definitely working their magic. I am getting a boatload of artifacts. I have 77 out of the 121 already. I'm still missing, I think there's a blue version of the key as well. Yeah, it's this one, the Sapphire key, and I still haven't seen it show up, which is a little bit worrisome because I am very close to where I need to go. So I am going to create another artifact. I don't think I can actually create those keys though, but let's forge an artifact anyway. Let's see what we get. The Dial of Destiny. Well, that's gonna give me a whole bunch of stuff. There's another artifact. Let's just do some alchemy as well. Gain the soul. Okay, I'm gonna need to spend some of my souls at this point. I'm actually just gonna give myself a lot of flat increases here. There we go. That is times 10 because I have 10 runesmiths. Speaking of which, now I have 12 of them. And let's see, what else can we do? We can do a lot of things actually. Maybe getting laser cannons at this point isn't the most powerful thing we can do. Getting some additional... that one didn't find anything. Getting some additional upgrades. Ooh, Sapphire key. There we go. There we go. Let's ignore everything else. Hold on. Let's ignore everything else. And let's make sure we bring this thing back. Oh, actually, it's getting buried now. So what we can do... I forgot which one it was. We can call an earthquake. That's just gonna shake it to the ground. Hopefully. That didn't quite work like I wanted it to. Oh man, we need that artifact to get to the ground before we complete this level. And I have a feeling that is not going to happen, and there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. I might be able to fire... that's going to go way too far. That actually made it worse. Can we do another one of those earthquakes? Forgetting where it is. No, that is 2 minutes away. Well, it's right there. You wake up, wake up. Yeah. Okay, cutting it really close there. Oh man, okay. I have no idea whether or not that did the trick, but we're going to find out in about 10 seconds from now, because I think that was all the keys that we needed for the event. There's so many, so many artifacts stuck in here. And it's not like I've been neglecting to upgrade my my collection, by the way. I'm just doing so much damage that the rest can't keep up. Triple seal hole. Before you stands a Mithril gate, so mountainous you cannot see its peak even on a clear day. At its threshold there are 3 holes, clearly beckoning for some sort of key. You insert the 3 keys with a satisfying click. After a moment you can hear... Okay, stop that popping up already. You can hear the sounds of massive gears turning inside, and the vault gate goes open with a thunderous boom. Within you find great dwarven halls filled with piles of gems. Nestled at the peak of one of them lies the legendary artifact, the Noglamar. Okay. So? Am I gonna get the Noglamar after I complete this level, or is it somewhere in this chaos? Because at this point I'm having trouble telling, to be honest. Or did I already get it? So let me double check. We have almost all the artifacts now. Dragon's Egg, I have the Beholder, Fertility Idol. I don't think it's in here. Oh, it is, actually. Legendary Necklace of Great Grace and Beauty. Despite being loaded with gems, it is light of warm breeze. Okay, that's just a flat upgrade. But we still have a couple of things we can create, I think. So let me go here. And in 4 seconds, I will create myself another artifact. There we go. You can also find these tier 5 artifacts, by the way, so let's see. How are we doing on artifacts? I would say we are doing pretty well. We actually missed most of the tier 4 ones, but we have most of the tier 5 ones. Now I'm assuming that some of these... Yeah, so this one I've never found. This one I think is something you can just create. Same goes for this one. So there's 2 of them that we actually have never found, but they might be boss related. Okay, I did a little bit more upgrading and things are just completely nuts at this point. So there's a couple of artifacts still stuck in here, but we already have 100 of them. Speaking of which, let's create another one. That's not the one we just created. I think this one is. Okay, so how are we doing? 102, yes. I mean, I could have done that math without looking at it, to be honest. I think we still have 1 more to go that we can create. I think the Arkenstone is probably something we can create. Actually, if you are trying to create a artifact through this ability and you cannot do this, you will get a pop-up saying, yep, there's nothing more available, and that's it. Speaking of which, let's also make sure we keep triggering this, because the main goal of this is to find the Philosopher's Stone, which is required to access the Great World Spire. So I think I kind of need to, well, maybe not use this on cooldown, but pretty close to that. It's going to create complete chaos by doing that, though. At this point, I'm doing 6.6 million damage per minute, which is enough to clear a level every 20 seconds or so. Look, there's another tier 4 artifact, I believe, in here. Yeah. Let's skip ahead a little bit until something interesting happens once again. Well, I have to press record pretty quick because we're now fighting a golem, but I'm doing so much damage. The golem is just melting away at this point. Yep, I think that was it, right? Yeah, the golem has been shattered within 20 seconds, I hope. Yeah, I actually had to double check whether or not I was recording because it went by so fast. So I think we're getting a boss every 20 levels now, but at this rate, we're burning through those levels. Now, let's see, what can we get? Honestly, it doesn't really matter. I think we are going to get all of the artifacts pretty quickly now. We're already at 112. Let's see if I can create some more. Probably don't have to really spend these souls on that. That's actually interesting. Should I be making this? There's also one of 5 unique tier 5 artifacts that I created with this, so I should probably do this anyway. I think I just got a random one though. Let me check the artifacts. So the tier 3 ones we only need 1 of. I'm actually gonna hold off on creating any more artifacts for a little bit. What I am going to do, however, is I am going to spam the alchemy, and there's a nuke. Okay then. That was indeed a nuke. I'm not sure that did much because most of the stuff just landed right back to where it came from, but yeah, the screen is going to go completely nuts at this point. Oh, look at that. We are now at level 80 and we're fighting the Balrog. And yeah, I don't think the Balrog is going to last for very long. Considering I'm doing about 120 million damage per minute and this guy has 50. So, you know. But you can barely see him in all the chaos on the screen. Like I said, if you haven't turned off the screen shake at this point, you really want to do that because otherwise your screen is just shaking non-stop. We've had 458 calamities, by the way, so all of those things that scale by calamities have been paying off quite a bit as well. And let's see, what do we get? We've killed the Balrog within a minute, so that's kind of nice. We got another soul from our Spelunker. We should probably get a few more of those. I already started to upgrade some of those, but yeah, they are relatively cheap at this point. Cheap is a relative term, but once you're getting as much money as I am getting, yeah, I think it's starting to pay off. Am I doing it right, guys? Does this look like I'm doing it right? I think it is. Once again, the levels are still burning through, and I'm wondering what will happen at level 100, actually. Speaking of artifacts, how are we doing on those? We are still lacking 2. I feel like one of these is probably the reward for defeating the dragon, and it's probably in here somewhere. It's kind of like finding Waldo though, because I have no idea where it actually is. But hopefully it will be returned to the maw one way or another. Oh, here, there we go. Shadow Flame Whip. 9 points, so we have 150 already in the bank over here. Forge artifact costs 1 less mithril, and each cast has a 30% chance to refund 1 soul. Okay, well this will make future runs a lot easier because, well, if you can bring this with you, that is going to make this the triggering of the crafting of those artifacts a lot easier. Okay, I am just gonna sit here, I think, and just trigger alchemy on cooldown at this point. Because I haven't found the Philosopher's Stone just yet. I triggered this 19 times already. You can see this one actually has a counter. Ooh, the Great Inhale. Okay, that was almost 1,000,000 gold there from a single cast. Just because I had a lot of stuff on the floor already. But yeah, that's definitely paying off. Would you look at that? I wasn't actually expecting to get it, but after 30 times doing the research, I found the Philosopher's Stone. Transmutation rituals have a 0.1% per scientist, runesmith, and stonecaller, a 2% chance per tier of ritual power, and a 0.05 chance per alchemy research to double their results. That's it? I mean... okay. Anyway, so that means that... Which one was the transmutation? This one, right? I'm actually not sure. Was that the transmutation? I'm not entirely sure what the transmutation research is. Huh. I mean, it sounds like it's these one, right? But, I am actually missing something here, which I am not sure how to get. So let's just get a couple of these upgrades, see if that unlocks it. These stone collars are getting really expensive though, so it might be an upgrade that I haven't unlocked yet in the technology tree. Let me check that. Well, I couldn't find it, but honestly it doesn't really matter I think at this point, because spamming all of my upgrades, you can see the ridiculous stacks my dwarves are now able to carry. Upgrading my bulldozers completely, well not completely, but close to it anyway. Getting 5 of them definitely helps speed things up. So as you can see, my dwarves are actually now getting to the point where they have nothing to do every now and then, despite me doing about 400 million damage per minute, which is still more than enough to clear things out. Now what is interesting, in the artillery section I just unlocked the nuke. This is going to allow me to do a massive amount of damage, so it's just a bigger version of the bullet ballin that we got before. But these nukes actually have a chance to trigger on a calamity as well. So it's only a 0.666% chance, but you know, it's increased by some other things as well. So right now we have a almost 3% chance whenever a calamity triggers to also get a nuke. And that nuke is going to do a massive amount of damage. Not that we need it, but you know, it can't hurt to have some more damage coming in. I actually want to see, how can we level this up any further? Yes, because that will unlock the airstrike upgrade, and then at tier 3 we get some more things as well. That could be interesting, but I need some more souls in order to do that. Now this is where my ritual might come in, so I can't spend mithril in order to get souls, but we need 25 mithril to do that, so that's gonna take a second. Or we can just get a soul naturally, so let's upgrade this. Now we get airstrike. What does this do? A small percent chance for a cannibal to trigger an airstrike upon the mountain. Chances increased by blah 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 blah. Airstrike spawns 2 to 6 rockets which crash upon the mountain at a random location, destroying all falling rocks in the radius and dealing explosion damage to everything equal to 20% of the cannonball's damage. Okay, well that's not as overpowered as I thought it was going to be, but let's get a couple of levels of that. Now we have a 5% chance for every time a cannonball hits. And by the way, I have 8 of these things shooting at the mountain already. To get an airstrike. Not sure if we can see the airstrikes through all of this chaos, but more damage is better. Oh boy, the next level of nuclear research actually takes 4 souls, 100 mithril. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to complete that this run, because I have a feeling it's going to be over at level 100, but I'm not actually sure about that, so there's only one way to find out. Okay, well, we are complete on the artifacts. We are at level 99 now. We're doing almost, well, we are doing 1 billion damage, and I think I've gotten not all the upgrades I can get. There's a lot more upgrades actually that we could get. I'm just lacking some of the materials to do that, or the money. All in all, I don't think it's gonna be the biggest difference. So let's see. Before you stands the holiest and most ancient of mountains, the Great World Spire. Its cliff faces stretches endlessly in all directions with seemingly no deformity or angle as it rises towards the clouds. As you approach it, you are repelled by its force field. Intrinsically, you realize it demands 8 special artifacts. Some from slain beasts, some forged by your hand, some other plucked from the depths of the underground. Do you possess them? Well, I better, because I have found all the artifacts. The force field crumbles. The final meal is within your grasp. You tie your warforged napkin and begin the feast. 500 million damage. That is gonna take me, well, based on the 1 billion damage I was doing before, it's gonna take me about half a minute. So this is kind of my victory lap, I guess. All in all, guys, let me know in the comments if you are still here. Then you are definitely awesome, by the way, because you've been watching this for I don't know how many hours at this point. I kind of lost track while recording. But it's probably a 2 or maybe even 3-hour video at this point, and that's just part 2. But yeah, you can see the Great World Spire melting away before us. And this is probably a good time just quickly to talk about the prestige mechanics, because as you can see, I haven't even unlocked everything yet. The tier 6 mechanics are things that are permanent bonuses, but you can also ascend in this game. And this is an optional endless feature that wipes all your prestige upgrades and prestige points, but preserves the special infinite tier 6 upgrades. So basically everything that you pick in here, especially the endless ones, I'm not sure if the other ones also come with you. But that basically allows you to become even stronger, and there's a limit to how many of these you can buy before you ascend. So basically every time you ascend you can increase your starting power and then do it all over again and do it faster and faster. So even if this means I've completed kind of this run so far, there's even more gain after that. Look at that. The Great Moss, please. Devour time 133. That's about a 2-hour run in total. And what have the gods hidden below the world spire? Finally you shall know the myth of creation, that which has eluded countless dwarven civilizations before you. As you gaze into the gaping depths below, you are stunned in awe. The legends of the hollow earth were true. Another world lies beneath. It too populated with countless mountains for you to eat. Endless mode begins. Okay then. Yeah. No, you completed the game just yet. This is just more levels after that. Just with some hoops you have to jump through to make sure you optimized your run to get here, which I guess we did, because we were just able to complete that. And I guess there's no more bosses after that. We are just now in endless mode, so there's endless levels after that, so you can either farm more prestige points. But I think the main purpose now is to, that's the wrong one, to go down this, unlock everything over here, and then make sure you get as many upgrades as you can in tier 6, and use that to boost another run after that. Now in terms of achievements, there's an achievement to unlock all of this stuff in here, which obviously I haven't done just yet, and then there's achievements to ascend several times as well. There's achievements to get, millions and billions of gold, but at this point well, I probably haven't gotten a billion yet. Let me check my stats actually. Total gold earned is only 12 million, but yeah, getting a billion is not that big of a problem if you just keep running this run a few more times. All in all, a really fun game, and remember, it is coming out, I think by the time this goes live, it will be coming out tomorrow. I have no idea what the price point is, so make sure you check that before you buy it. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I only got this preview version for free. But yeah, as you can see, I've been very much enjoying myself playing this, and I hope you will too. Once more, if you're still here, you're awesome, and I definitely hope to catch you in the next one.